Let me guess, you're all out of ideas on what to make for Christmas dinner. If you're stressing about what to make, stop. Unc's got you covered with recipes that'll have everyone asking for seconds. Watch this. Everyone needs a go-to roasted chicken recipe. This is perfect for Easter. This is perfect for the holidays. This is perfect for Soul Food Sundays. So listen up. Go ahead and oil up your chicken, olive oil, all over your bird. And then for flavor, I'm using that straight drop rub. All the flavor you need in one bottle. It's got paprika, it's got salt, it's got garlic, it's got some more stuff in there. If you want it, go ahead and get it from UncleDibbz.com. Season up your bird, all sides. I like seasoning the back side of the chicken first because the presentation side is going to get the most love. So you want to take your time with that at the end so that you don't make any indentions or scrape any of the seasoning off. So season the back side first and the top side last. Now we're going to stuff it with some aromatics. I'm just throwing in some lemon, some herbs. I'm using thyme, rosemary, and sage. Just stuff that right in the cavity, and this is going to have your kitchen smelling absolutely amazing. Go ahead and tie up your chicken because our chicken is classy, not trashy, so we keep them legs closed. Throw this in the fridge for at least an hour. Overnight if you can, but just for at least an hour. Now, the main reason why I like this dish is because it's one pot. One pot means less dishes and less stress. So I'm all about the one pot game. So it's veggies and chicken all in one pot. So whatever your favorite veggies are, I'm using potatoes. I'm cutting those up, carrots, celery, also some onion. Whatever your favorite veggies are, go ahead and throw that in the mix and you'll be good to go. But make sure you add that garlic too, okay? You're just going to cut off the tips of the garlic so that they're exposed. That garlic really sets this dish off, so do not skip that part. In my kitchen, we do season our veggies, so hit them with a little olive oil. And then once again, I'm using that straight drop all-purpose rub to flavor them up. Give them a nice toss, a nice mix, and then go ahead and set them to the side. Make sure you preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to be using a Dutch oven. Add a little olive oil and then grab that chicken and throw it in your Dutch oven. Right now, we're just browning the chicken. We're not cooking it. We're just getting it some color, okay? So just hit each side of the chicken, the front, back, side to side, 5 minutes each, just to get a little bit of color on the bird, okay? It's a little tricky. You might need to use a tongue or a spoon or two. But just make sure you're gentle and you don't break your bird. Now, you see all those brown bits at the bottom of that Dutch oven? That's called flavor, AKA fine, but it's literally just flavor. You want that, okay? So save that. Go ahead and add some unsalted butter, then add your veggies right on top. And then to set this thing off, we're going to add a little bit of wine. All right, you can use whatever white wine you got. This is just what I had on hand. It's a Pinot Noir Rosé, but you can use chicken stock if you don't have wine or if you don't want to use wine. Now we're going to add our chicken back to our Dutch oven. We're going to throw it in the oven at 400 degrees for 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, remove your lid, and then we're going to have these nice drippings at the bottom of the Dutch oven. You want to grab a little brush and baste your chicken. Throw this back in the oven at 425 for about 20 to 25 minutes. Make sure it's uncovered when you throw it back in there because you want that nice browning, just like this. Remove your chicken and then throw your veggies back in the oven. Turn the oven off just so that the veggies can finish cooking. And then go ahead and slice up your chicken after it rests for at least 20 to 30 minutes so that you don't get a whole bunch of juices leaking out of your chicken. We want that flavor to stay in there, not out of there. Grab your favorite serving dish. Go ahead and throw your veggies right on top. And then on top of that, add your chicken. And then remember those lemons that we stuffed in the chicken? You can throw those right on top too. Add a little parsley, whatever greenery you want to make it pop. And dinner is served. Juicy chicken, veggies right there with it as well. You're good to go, shawty. That's good, shawty. What if I told you the only thing you needed to make a juicy chicken like this was this bag right here? Check out how I make my roasted chicken. Save this recipe for your Easter menu. Grab your vegetables, potatoes, carrots, and onion, slather them down with some oil, and then use this seasoning right here. the Delta Dust. Get it from UncleDibbz.com. Next, grab your chicken. Melt 1 stick of butter and then grab this seasoning right here, the Dirty Bird Rub. 13 herbs and spices all in one bottle so that you don't have to go on an Easter egg hunt trying to find spices to season up your chicken. Get it from UncleDibbz.com. After you pour all that flavor over your bird, it's time to stuff it with some aromatics, some lemon, some sage, some thyme, some garlic. Don't forget the rosemary. Set that chicken to the side, grab a casserole dish, and then now it's time to grab that bag. Now, this isn't one of those bags from underneath your sink. This is an oven-safe bag specifically used for cooking. Put 1 tablespoon of flour in that bag, shake it all around, and then add your veggies. Next, lay your chicken right down on top. Any of that reserved butter, go ahead and pour it over your chicken, and then pour some chicken broth in the bag. Tie your bag into a knot. Make sure you cut a couple slits on top of the bag for some ventilation. Bake for 2 hours at 350. After your chicken has rested for 10 minutes, cut away the bag, and then dinner is served. Now, when I say this chicken is juicy and bussin', look how tender this is. Fall off the bone chicken. That drumstick just came right off the bone. Full recipe in the caption or go to the link in my bio. That's good, shawty. A seafood boil, but with chicken? Count me in, shawty. I'm gonna show you how to make it all in this bag right here. Now, we all know no seafood boil, or in this case, bird boil, is complete without all the essentials. I'm talking potatoes, corn, onion, garlic, andouille sausage, and those boiled eggs. Once all your ingredients are sliced up, go ahead and grab a big old bowl and dump everybody in the pool. Now it's time for that flavor. Melt 1 stick of butter and then add this seasoning right here, the Delta Dust. The flavor is like Papa Do's in a bottle, so you already know. You can grab the seasoning from UncleDibbz.com. Pour that butter mixture all over your food. Give everything a nice mix and set it to the side. Now grab that chicken. Melt another stick of butter, and then for flavor, I'm coming with that Dirty Bird Rub, 13 all-natural spices to make this bird bussin'. You can get that also from UncleDibbz.com. Mix it with your butter and slather it all over your chicken. Now we're going to give this bird a BBL, Dr. Miami style. Go ahead and stuff that thing full of that corn, that sausage, and potatoes. Tie up them legs because our bird's classy, not trashy. Then go ahead and get that bag, shawty. Add 1 tablespoon of flour to the bag. Give it a nice shake. Then add the rest of your fixings to that bag. Next, lay your chicken right on top. And then don't forget those eggs. Place 6 uncooked eggs all around your bird. They're going to cook and boil right in the bag, y'all. Add your lemons to the bag along with half a can of beer. Tie your bag nice and tight. And then grab a fork or a knife and then poke 6 holes all around the bag. That's just going to help with that air circulation. Throw this in the oven at 375 for an hour and a half or until your bird is at 165. This is going to have your whole house smelling something special, shawty. I'm telling you. Let the bag rest for 10 minutes, cut it open, and then get ready for a juicy surprise. Everything is cooked to perfection, shawty. And guess what? I don't even need a knife to cut this chicken. I'm using a spoon. Let me know what you're grabbing first from this boil. To get this full recipe, go to UncleDibbz.com or visit the link in my bio. That's good, shawty. When I say I want my turkey crispy on the outside and juicy on the inside, this is what I'm talking about, shawty. Save this recipe for your Thanksgiving turkey. Now, you don't need to fry a turkey or give it BBL shots to give it flavor. All you need is this right here, some natural herbs and spices, aka that top-of-the-line brine. Get 8 quarts of water, mix the whole bag with that water, and then submerge your turkey right in that brine mixture. Top it with some ice, put it in the fridge for 12 to 24 hours. Let that thing soak. You can get the brine from UncleDibbz.com. Now it's time to season that turkey with that Dirty Bird Rub, but do it in this order. Inside first, backside next, and then save that top side for last for that seasoning. This is because it's that presentation side. You don't want it to be ugly when you present it on the table. Stuff it with some onion and some lemon, tie up them legs, and then let's get it ready for the smoker. I'm smoking this bird low and slow at 225 for 2 hours. After 2 hours, we're gonna bump that thing up to 325. I'm gonna put some of my garlic herb butter in there to melt, and then I'm gonna baste that turkey every 15 minutes so it's nice and juicy on the outside. Once that breast gets to 175 degrees Fahrenheit, go ahead and pull your turkey and let it rest for 30 minutes to an hour. Let me know in the comments if you want one of these turkeys for your Thanksgiving. I might have a surprise for you. Full recipes at UncleDibbz.com.
That's good, Shorty.
One thing I miss about living in Florida is that crispy fried chicken from Publix. Don't worry, Unc's got the recipe. First, let's make that marinade. 2 cups of buttermilk, and then half a cup of this right here, the Dirty Bird Rub. 13 herbs and spices, all you need to make this chicken bussin'. Get it from UncleDibbz.com. Mix and cover, let it marinate overnight. Now, the next day, get you a big bowl, add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, half a cup of self-rising flour, and then 2 tablespoons of some more of that Dirty Bird Rub. Now, grab your chicken out the fridge, and then grab some soda water. Pour that into another bowl. Dredge your chicken in that flour mixture. Make sure it's well coated, shake off any excess, and then we're just gonna dunk 2 times that chicken in that soda water. Place your chicken back into the dry mix, recoat it, and then set it to the side. This is gonna make that chicken extra crispy, extra juicy, extra bussin'. Fry your chicken in peanut oil. Make sure you heat it up to 350. It's gonna drop down to about 300. Just make sure you keep it between 300 and 320. Make sure your chicken gets to an internal temperature of 165. Full recipes in the caption or the link in my bio, but listen to this crunch.
That's good, Shorty.
Uncle Dibbz red beans and rice, and the only seasoning you're gonna need is that King Creole blend. Y'all know Mardi Gras season is here, so you know we gotta do it. First, chop up your veggies, your onion, your green pepper, your celery, parsley, and then make sure you soak those beans overnight, y'all. First, we're gonna cook our andouille sausage, and then pull it, and then add your holy trinity, onion, green pepper, and celery. Let that sweat, and then add some parsley and garlic. Put your beans and sausage back in, add 2 quarts of chicken stock, and then for seasoning, we're using that Uncle Dibbz King Creole blend. Top it off with some hot sauce, a couple bay leaves, let it simmer on low for 4 hours. While that's cooking, don't forget the cornbread too, shawty.
That's good, Shorty.
What happens when Louisiana gumbo meets Vietnamese pho with juicy, tender oxtail as the main character? You get Soul Pho Gumbo. Watch this. Here's a look at the ingredients we're going to use to make our pho broth. First up, we're seasoning up this oxtail with that Texas steak rub. This is going to give it that bold, rich flavor that's going to make every bite unforgettable. You can get the seasoning from UncleDibbz.com. While that oxtail is soaking up that flavor, chop up 1 onion into quarters. Now heat some oil in a large stock pot over medium-high heat. Sear the oxtail on all sides until it's browned, 3 to 4 minutes per side. This step is non-negotiable. This is where the depth of the flavor begins. Remove the oxtail, and now we're going to build the broth. Start by adding the onion, the garlic, saute until that's fragrant for about 2 minutes, then re-add your oxtail, and I'm adding some leftover beef bones for this broth. Next, add beef broth, water, a few bay leaves, some soy sauce, and some sugar. Don't worry, I'll leave all the amounts to this recipe in the description. Add a couple of shakes of fish sauce in there, and then top with some more water and beef broth. Now this is the key. You need to let this simmer on low and slow for a few hours until the oxtail is nice and tender. While the broth is working its magic, let's prep the gumbo ingredients. Slice up your andouille sausage. Set your sausage to the side, and now it's time to work on that trinity. Start by chopping up your fresh green bell pepper. Dice everything up nice and even. Next, do the same with your white onion. And then finish off with 1 stalk of celery. The trinity is the foundation of all good gumbo, and this is gonna make this Soul Pho Gumbo bussin'. Once you got these ready, set them aside for later. After about 3 hours, let's check on that pho broth. Our pho broth has been going for about 3 hours now, And as it's cooking, impurities are going to rise to the top. Just grab a spoon and take them out of the broth. Next, remove your bones and your oxtail, looking nice and tender and ready. Set all that to the side, and then we're going to strain out all of the solids. Grab your stock pot and strain that rich broth into a big bowl. All we're doing here is separating the solids from the liquids. I'm going to run that broth through a nice fine mesh strainer and re-add it to my stock pot. It's that simple, y'all. Just take some time. Keep that broth nice and warm on a nice low setting on the stove. Next, tear up your oxtail pieces. I don't even know why I used a knife. You can just use your hands because they'll fall off the bone, baby. Set that oxtail meat to the side. Now let's make that gumbo. Add equal parts oil and flour to a Dutch oven over medium-high heat. You want to keep stirring this roux. Do not let it sit or burn. Keep whisking that roux until it gets to a nice, beautiful chocolate color like this. Once your roux is ready, add your veggies. Add that trinity, the onion, the celery, the bell pepper, and cook them down until they're soft and full of flavor. Now next, we got to bring some more flavor to the party. We're making gumbo, y'all. We ain't making soup. And this is where this comes in, that Delta dust. This flavor right here would give your gumbo that kick that it needs to get it where it needs to go. It has all the herbs you need, smoked paprika, garlic, cayenne, and more. You can get that seasoning from UncleDibbz.com. Next, add some minced garlic. Make sure you add that last so it doesn't burn. And since it's the holidays and I'm in a good mood, add a cup of beer. Let it simmer until the alcohol cooks off. This step adds depth that you won't get anywhere else. It brings that soul to it, shawty. Now it's time for the pho to meet the gumbo. Gradually ladle in your broth and continue to whisk to combine the pho with the gumbo. Next, add your shredded oxtail. Now it's time to add those herbs. That King Creole blend is what you need. It's got thyme, oregano, onion powder, and so much more. No salt. You can get it from UncleDibbz.com. Add your sausage last. Bring everything to a boil and then let it simmer on low for 3 hours, stirring every 15 minutes. Now, one of my favorite things about pho is the toppings. Now, one of my favorite parts about eating pho is the toppings. This is your chance to get creative, but I'm going to keep it mostly classic. Just using green onion, jalapenos, cilantro, and some limes. This dish is all about merging flavors, and these toppings will brighten up every single bite. Also, this is a good time to start getting your rice together as well. Jasmine rice works perfect with this dish. Now that we put in all this work, let's eat. When it's ready, ladle your Soul Pho Gumbo into a nice big bowl. And trust me, you're going to want to grab the biggest bowl you got. Once you got enough, go ahead and add your favorite toppings and garnishes. Don't forget to add your white rice, and then finish off with your favorite sauces as well. This bowl is about flavor and personality. Don't hold back. And this is Soul Pho Gumbo. Y'all gotta try this out and let me know what you think. To get this full recipe, visit my site, UncleDibbz.com.
That's good, shorty.
Sunday pot roast, and the only seasoning you're gonna need is that Uncle Dibbz Texas steak rub. This is the perfect wintertime meal for the whole family. Grab your beef roast and then season it up with that Uncle Dibbz Texas steak rub. Get the flavor from UncleDibbz.com. Add some oil to a pot, get it on high, and sear all sides of your beef roast. We're not cooking it all the way, we're just searing it. Go ahead and take it out, set it to the side, saute some garlic for 60 seconds, then add some red wine to the glazed pot. Add a couple of cups of beef broth, then add that beef roast back to the pot. Add a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. Now it's time to add our veggies. I'm using some red potatoes, some carrots, some onion. I'm telling you right now, this is gonna have your house smelling amazing, shorty. Top it off with some rosemary, then throw it in the oven for 3 hours at 350. Then this is what you get. Use 2 forks to cut up that roast. Stir it up nice, grab you a bowl, and you're good to go.
That's good, shorty.
You don't have to go out to the club to get this delicious garlic herb rack of lamb. Watch this. First, we're gonna make our garlic and herb paste. Use as much garlic as you want, and then some herbs like rosemary, thyme, and parsley. And then for flavor, I'm coming with that straight drop rub. Get the seasoning from UncleDibbz.com. Add some olive oil and then give it a blend. Once your herbs and garlic turn into a nice thick paste like this, it's time to grab that rack of lamb. First, we're gonna score it with a knife just to make sure that delicious garlic flavor gets deep into that lamb. Next, grab your herb paste and rub it all throughout that rack of lamb. Make sure you get deep into the crevices of that lamb. We want this whole thing busting with flavor. Once you're done hitting both sides, it's time to prepare the vegetables. Today I'm using some red, orange, and yellow bell peppers, some potatoes, and also some carrots. But you can throw whatever veggies you like into this medley. We're gonna grill this lamb right on top of these veggies, so these veggies are gonna be packed with flavor from the drippings from the lamb. But first we gotta season up the veggies, add a little olive oil and some more of that straight drop rub. Give it a nice mix. And if you have any leftover garlic paste, go ahead and throw that in your veggies too as well, and you can mix that in too. Next, grab a wire rack, throw your lamb meat side down so that it's resting right on top of those veggies. Now let's prepare our grill for medium heat. Now if you're saying, oh, I don't have a grill, but I want to do this recipe, it's all good. You can do this right in the oven as well. Just get your oven set for 375. Now place your lamb directly over the heat for about 20 to 25 minutes for medium rare. Now if you're savage and you want yours well done, you can go all the way up to 35 minutes. But I like mine just like this. Now break out your Sunday best fine china. Go ahead and spoon those juicy vegetables right over your plate. Move your vegetables to the side. Now grab that prize, rack of lamb. We're gonna slice these into individual pieces just like this. And guess what? If it's too rare for some of your guests, all you need to do is throw it back on the grill and they can burn it up just how they like it. This full recipe is available on my site, link in bio. But other than that, it's time to eat.
That's good, shorty.
This is how we do the holidays in Texas. Juicy, smoked prime rib. Big flavors for an unforgettable holiday feast. Watch this. The secret to a perfect prime rib starts with a good brine. And I'm using this right here, the top of the line brine. This has all the flavor and salt so that your prime rib is seasoned all the way around and throughout, making sure every bite is juicy and delicious. Grab the brine from UncleDibbz.com. Make sure you generously coat on all sides and let it sit in the fridge for 12 to 24 hours. This step makes all the difference. About an hour before you cook, get your smoker together. I'm using my Traeger Ironwood XL, heated to 225. Remove your prime rib from the fridge and let it come to room temperature for about an hour. In the meantime, let's start building the veggie base for our au jus. The au jus is that delicious juice that we're gonna soak our prime rib with. Chop up some carrots, celery, onion, and garlic. Grab a roasting pan and place all of those veggies in your pan. We're gonna season these veggies with my King Creole blend, which is a no salt blend that is filled with flavor to make sure this au jus is perfect. Grab that from UncleDibbz.com, add some fresh herbs like rosemary and thyme, and then place your prime rib right on top. Now the brine has already done its magic, but we still have to season this bad boy. And I'm using that Texas steak rub to give it that bold, savory, perfect flavor for this thick cut of meat. Get the flavor from UncleDibbz.com. Place the prime rib on the top rack of your smoker and slide the veggies underneath. Insert your meat probe thermometer, and we're looking for an internal temp of 120 for medium rare. Once it hits that temp, crank the heat up to 450 degrees to sear the outside of your prime rib for that perfect crust. Let it roast for 10 to 15 minutes. Remove your prime rib and your veggies. Now don't grab your plate just yet. Let this thing rest for 30 to 40 minutes. This locks in all those juices and keeps that meat tender. Just tint a little bit of foil over the top and set it to the side. While our prime rib is resting, let's make that au jus. Throw that roasting pan over your stove over medium-high heat. Add some beef broth, bring it to a boil. And then in a separate pan, we're gonna strain all of that juice into a saucepan. Let that come to a boil and then season with cracked black pepper and sea salt. Give it a taste and see if you made liquid gold. Once you get your au jus just right, let's go ahead and start carving up this prime rib. Now that our meat has been resting for about 30 to 40 minutes, remove your meat probe and then grab a cutting board. Add some fresh rosemary for a nice touch, and then set that delicious au jus off to the side. This is what the holidays are all about, shawty. Juicy, smoky, perfectly cooked prime rib. This is how we do Christmas in Texas. If you want this full recipe, make sure you visit my website or go to the link in my bio, UncleDibbz.com. Also, if you don't have a smoker, no worries. You can make this recipe right in your oven. Just let me know in the comments if you need it. Don't worry, Unc's got you. Until then, let's eat, shawty.
That's good, shorty.